Either you are utterly incompetent or you are violating laws with impunity. You should step down from your position. If you don't, you should be removed by this president. And if not, Congress should impeach you.
You just heard a United States Senator tell the Secretary of Homeland Security, under oath, on national television, that she is either utterly incompetent or deliberately breaking the law. And her response? A smirk and a one-liner. But how did we get here? What did Senator Booker actually prove in that room? Because this was not yelling. This was not theatrics. This was a senator who came prepared with real names, real cases, and real numbers. And he was about to dismantle her one by one. Stay with me.
How many U.S. citizens has DHS detained as of last October?
Senator, if you're talking about detained and arrested, is that those that have been violating and obstructing our law enforcement operations? Is that what you're referencing? Because it could be hundreds and hundreds. We have faced violent riots across the country,
you are
specifically in Portland and in
the
Minneapolis.
only people you've detained are committing crimes, but you and I both know that's not true.
No, I haven't said that. I didn't
so
say
then
that.
how
I asked
many
which ones you were
people
referencing.
Have you detained?
I can't give you an accurate number because we've literally detained and arrested many for those obstruction of law enforcement operations, and
so
also
public
others
records,
that had probable
let me tell
cause,
you what my staff researched.
and then released
May I
yes.
continue? Public records are showing that over 170 incidents of your agency unlawfully taking away the liberties and freedoms of American citizens. This includes 20 children, 20 American kids that your agency detained.
She could not give a single number. The person who said the buck stops with her could not tell Congress how many American citizens her own agency had detained. So Booker gave her the number himself: 170 incidents of unlawful detention, 20 of them children, 20 American kids taken by their own government. And she sat there and acted like she had no idea.
Let me give you, because you are not speaking truthfully under oath, Isaiah Pena Salcedo, a U.S. citizen living in California, was detained more than 70 hours, almost 3 days, even after he showed ICE agents his passport. My colleague, Senator Blumenthal, gave you example after example. He brought people here who had something else we Americans consider sacrosanct: our home, our property. Your masked agents jumping out of unmarked cars have broken into, considerable property damage occurring, into American citizens' homes. Case after case of this, and you sit here before me and claim the buck stops with you, but you don't even know the names of these individuals. I ran New Jersey's largest municipal police department. When my officers engaged in misconduct, you can be damn well sure I knew about it and I investigated it. And yet you have situations where your officers are violating the sanctity of people's homes, arresting and detaining them and holding their children. And you're acting as if you don't know about it and saying that under oath.
An American citizen with an American passport in his hand, showing it directly to ICE agents, and they still held him for 70 hours, nearly 3 days. And masked agents jumping out of unmarked cars are breaking into American homes. Not immigrant homes, American homes. And Noem sat there under oath and said she did not know about any of it.
Miramar Martinez, who is here right now, on her way to church, an American citizen going to church, not just to worship, but to donate clothing. Your officers shot her multiple times. The case was thrown out of court, and you represent here that you don't know about it.
She was going to church, not to protest, not to cause trouble, to donate clothing. And your agents shot her multiple times. The case was thrown out of court. And the Secretary of Homeland Security, the person who signs off on every major decision in that agency, looked a United States Senator in the eye and said she had never heard of it. This is not immigration enforcement. This is something else entirely.
Are you aware of your officers' activities at our public schools?
Sir, we don't go into schools and do targeted law enforcement operations. We do targeted law enforcement operations like other agencies
So you're
and law
telling me that
enforcement
ICE officers entered the grounds of a high school in Minneapolis, that's a fact, Elementary school children in New Jersey are terrified of your agents. When they came upon a school bus stop, they fled. Another school, a higher education, Columbia University, your agents reportedly lied to students, told them they were searching for a missing person to gain access to private spaces, to non-public areas of campus. Secretary Noem, these are kids. They're terrified in our communities. How do you think that affects them when children in my state go running, fleeing, and often you all pursue children, throwing them to the ground, getting on their backs, putting them in handcuffs?
Elementary school children running from a school bus stop because they are terrified of their own government. Agents lying their way into Columbia University, telling students they were looking for a missing person just to gain access to private spaces. Kids thrown to the ground, put in handcuffs, and every single time Booker asked if she knew, the answer was the same. She did not know. The buck stops with her, but she never knew anything.
Do you know how much you spent for it?
No, sir, I do not.
$129.3 million. Do you know how much it was assessed for in New Jersey?
Sir, we're purchasing centers across the country to build efficiency into our detention system.
Efficiency to
so
me,
that we
as
can...
a person who's run tight budgets before and had taxpayer dollars, you paid $129.3 million for a facility in my state that was assessed at less than half of that, at $62 million. To work for a president that says he's a great deal maker, I can't believe he thinks that you're a great deal maker. But what's worse than that is that the Roxbury Township Council, comprised entirely of Republicans, voted unanimously earlier this year to oppose that facility. My office tried to facilitate a meeting between DHS and local officials so that ICE could hear their concerns, yet DHS did not even respond. That is unacceptable. That you all would enter a town, you wouldn't even follow environmental reviews or have conversations with local officials about the resources, from emergency resources to fire resources and more, that you're going to pull down. You didn't even have a conversation.
$129.3 million for a warehouse worth $62 million. That is more than double the assessed value of your taxpayer money. And the people who opposed that purchase? Not Democrats, Republicans. An entire township council of Republicans voted unanimously against it. And DHS did not even respond to meeting requests. She signed a policy requiring her personal approval on any expense over $100,000, but had absolutely no idea her agency paid $129 million for a building worth half that.
Secretary Noem, do you comply with court orders?
Yes, we do comply
Your
with
agency
court
complies
orders.
with court orders.
Yes, we comply with federal court orders.
You were saying under oath that you do, and yet we know in January the chief judge, Republican appointed for the Federal District of Minnesota, found that ICE had violated nearly 100 court orders since January 1st alone. In my state of New Jersey, last month, the Chief of Staff to Deputy Attorney General admitted in my state that in the New Jersey District Court that the government had violated 52 separate court orders, all involving cases where immigrants successfully challenged the legality of their detention.
She said yes under oath. Yes, we comply with court orders. And then Booker proved, with a Republican-appointed judge, that ICE violated nearly 100 court orders in Minnesota alone, and 52 more in New Jersey. Under oath, she said yes. The records say something completely different.
Immigration was your president's #1 issue, overwhelmingly popular with the American people. But now it's overwhelmingly unpopular. And it's not because you are deporting dangerous people that everybody here wants out of our country. No, it's because you're going into our schools. You're terrorizing our children. You're detaining children. You're arresting Americans. You're breaking into our homes. You're terrorizing our streets. You're violating our rights to peacefully protest again and again and again. Either you are utterly incompetent or you are violating laws with impunity. You should step down from your position. If you don't, you should be removed by this president. And if not, Congress should impeach you.
I appreciate the encouragement. That was it. That was her entire response. No denial, no explanation, no attempt to address a single name, a single case, a single court order, just a smirk and a sarcastic one-liner, because she thought she was untouchable. She thought that smirk would carry her through every hearing, every court order, every detained American citizen, every unanswered question. Nearly 100 court orders violated in Minnesota alone. 52 violated in New Jersey, 20 American children detained, a woman shot on her way to church, a passport-carrying citizen held for 3 days. And she said, "I appreciate the encouragement," and then Trump fired her. Just like that. No warning, no loyalty, no appreciation. The same woman who spent months lying under oath defending this administration got thrown out like she never existed. And that is the thing about this administration that nobody should ever forget. They will use you until you become a liability, and then they will discard you without a second thought. Booker saw it coming. The people in that room saw it coming. The only person who did not see it coming was Kristi Noem herself.